Hi, and welcome to the presentation of personal branding. So, before we start, I would like to begin this presentation with a quote from Mr. Narendra Modi. So, the quote goes like this. It says, "The future belongs to social media. It is egalitarian and inclusive. Social media is not about any country, any language, any color, any community, but it is about human values, and that is the underlying link binding humanity." What a beautiful quote. But before we proceed further into our presentation, so there are a few questions that matter a lot to us. So one of them is, who said this quote? And that is Mr. Narendra Modi. And what did he say? Is this quote which talks about the social media. But why did he say it is another very important question. And that is the answer to this presentation, which is personal branding. So before we also proceed, we'll also look into the different tools that Modi used to build his brand image. So that is nothing but the digital media and the traditional media. And what exactly do we mean by digital media? So digital media is the different tools that he used to convey his messages online or on the digital side of the media. So which is nothing but the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and he also has his own YouTube channel, and he also uses different accounts such as Instagram, StumbleUpon, and Flickr. So why did Narendra Modi use all these tools to convey his message? And that, as I said earlier, is the answer to our presentation. So what are we going to look at in this presentation? So let us look at the introduction. So the introduction is going to talk to you about what exactly is personal branding and what are the different characteristics of personal branding. And the most important part of this presentation talks about the brand in you. So we're going to talk about how you can characterize yourself as a personal brand and project your image forward to your young consumers. So what exactly is personal branding? So personal branding is a process by which individuals and entrepreneurs differentiate themselves and stand out from a crowd by identifying and articulating their unique value proposition, whether professional or personal, and then leveraging it across platforms with a consistent message and image to achieve a specific goal. Too complicated, is it? So let us simplify it for you. So it is nothing but an individual or an entrepreneur who try to differentiate themselves and stand out from a crowd. So how do they do it? They do it by identifying and articulating the unique value proposition. So it talks about the unique value proposition that you need to hold for yourself before articulating it to a crowd. And how do you do it? You do it by leveraging it across platforms with a consistent message and image to achieve a specific goal. Let us go back to the example of Modi. So what did he do? So he was able to identify his unique value proposition, which is nothing but the sustainable development, and he was able to leverage it across the platforms, which we again spoke about a little before, about the different tools of social media to achieve a specific goal. His goal could have been a lot of different messages. It could have been to reach every citizen of India, or it could have been to build a particular image of his own, or it could have been anything. But he was able to achieve a specific goal with a consistent message by leveraging it across different platforms, and that's what this definition means. This is one of the character trait that he wanted to be known for. So decide how to be absolutely world class at one thing, and this was the main reason why he was able to project his image across a different social media platforms, and he wanted to be world class at one thing, and that is the reason he attended a lot of events which made him absolutely world class and which also made him earn his trust.
So next part would be, can you be a brand? And to understand that, we have to understand the brand anatomy of a student. For example, consider a student with essence as sincerity and who portray the benefits as his analytical skills, street smartness and outgoingness. He could also portray his attributes as certifications that he got, awards and achievements he has received, and qualifications, competencies that he have, hobbies, work experience and internship that he have done.
So the next topic is about the characteristics redefined for the students who are going to sit for the campus placements. The first character is consciously choosing one trait or essence that the candidate has to be known for. For example, if you are good at something, pitch about your essence in front of the recruiter. For example, if you are good at photography or designing, pitch about your talent in front of the recruiter. So the next step is decide on how you justify the previous statement. So let's say that you are good at designing. So how are you going to prove to the recruiter that you are good at designing? So you'll have to take your portfolio along with your resume to the interview. Showcase your talent in front of him. Show your previous work. Show what you have done during the college. Show what you have done during the previous work. That is how you're gonna prove your talent to him. And the next step comes how recruiter can use your talent for the company. Suppose you are good at say research, so how he is going to use your talent for the company purpose. Maybe he may use your talent in multiple areas for cross utilization, multiple functions. So you should also make him satisfied that your talent is really needed for the company. And the last trait here is look for brand role models. Everyone should have a role model. Everyone should have an idol whom he has to look up to when he is at bad times, or to get motivated, or to perform better. Let your role model be your guru in achieving what you really want to achieve.
We had seen brand anatomy, and now let me take you through the phases of recruitment and its impact on the psyche of the recruiter. So, what are the different steps that affect the recruiter and in what way? This is what we're going to see now. So, initially, let me take you through the steps. So, the start, you have a stimulus, and the stimulus leads to motivation. So, the motivation creates a perception, the perception causes learning, and the learning causes the final attitude. So, now let me take you through the recruitment process. So, what exactly is the stimulus for a recruiter? So, for a recruiter, the stimulus could be resume or your appearance. So, the resume is the first thing that the recruiter encounters and he looks at you. So, both resume and appearance could actually be a stimulus. So, if you create a positive stimulus and if you manage to capture the attention of the recruiter, it takes you to the next step, which is motivation. So the recruiter actually gets motivated to know about you. So what does he do? So he or she starts asking you questions and tries to know more about the individual or you. So when he starts asking questions and tries to know more about you, that's when he starts building a perception about you. So what happens during the perception is that he keeps you in his initial consideration set. That is, he thinks, okay, fine. So this person has actually created a good perception in me. So let me place him on the initial consideration set. Let me see if he's actually fit for the position or not. So how does he get to know that? So he starts probing. So he starts asking more question about you. So why does he do that? It is because he tries to learn about you. And why does he start learning again? Because he wants to reinforce the image that he has about you in his mind. So that is why he starts asking a lot of questions in order to know more about you, and this reinforces your image in his mind. And so where does all this lead to is the development of attitude. So all his learning, perception, motivation, and the stimulus could actually cause a positive or a negative attitude. In case if he creates a positive attitude about you, so you have definitely got the job. And in case if you've developed a negative attitude in his mind, so you're going to lose the job. And this is the phases of recruitment and its impact on the psyche of the recruiter.
It's as important as building a personal brand. We should also try to control our personal brand. We should be cautious while projecting what we are in social media and in the public. So, I would like to conclude the presentation by saying that controlling a personal brand is just as important as building one.
We've come to the end of this presentation. Hope it was helpful. So start building your personal brand today to be known forever and forever. Thank you so much.